Hey there and welcome. Today, we're going to break down one of the most useful ways to talk about the future in English, the be going to tense. And trust me, by the end of this, you'll be using it like an absolute pro.
So picture this. You're thinking about your weekend. Maybe you're going to meet up with some friends, or maybe you're starting a cool new project. How do you actually talk about those things? Well, that's where be going to becomes your best friend.
All right, let's jump right in. Now, a lot of us learn the word will for the future, right? But be going to is just as crucial. The main difference? Will is often for those spur-of-the-moment decisions, but be going to is what you use for plans you've already thought about. It's a key tool in your English toolbox, for sure.
At its heart, it's actually really simple. We use be going to for basically two big things. First, to talk about plans we've already cooked up, and second, to make predictions when we've got some kind of evidence. And we're going to get into both of those right now.
Okay, so first things first. How do we actually put this thing together? Let's get into the mechanics. It's a simple formula, I promise.
And here it is, super simple, just 4 steps. So you grab your subject, then you match it with the right be verb, am, is, or are. Then you just pop in going to, and you finish it off with the basic verb. That's the whole recipe. Subject, be verb, going to, base verb. Done.
Okay, now this chart really lays it all out, doesn't it? You can see right away how that be verb changes with the subject. I am, you are, he is. And look, for the negatives, you just stick not right after the be verb. And for questions, you just flip the subject and the be verb around. It's the same pattern every single time.
All right, let's check out some positive sentences in action. I am going to live in Germany. See, that's a clear plan. He is going to buy a car. That's an intention he has. Every single one follows that simple formula we just talked about.
And what about negatives? Just as easy. Take this one. We aren't going to leave tomorrow. All you do is put not right after the be verb. Or how about, I am not going to write an email? In both cases, you're just saying, hey, this plan, it's not happening.
So, what if you want to ask a question? Easy. You just flip the subject and the be verb. So instead of saying, you are, you ask, are you going to visit us? Instead of James is, you ask, is James going to finish the homework? So simple, right?
All right, so we've totally nailed the how. But now we get to the really interesting part, the why. Why do we choose be going to instead of something else? Let's find out.
And boom, this slide shows it all perfectly. These are the 2 main reasons you'll use be going to. Over on the left, you've got future plans. These are things you've already decided on, like we are going to have a picnic this weekend. Bam, it's in the calendar. Then on the right, you have predictions with evidence. This is when you can see or know something right now that makes you pretty sure about what's coming next. The example is perfect. Look at those black clouds. It's going to rain. The clouds are your evidence. You're not just guessing.
Here's another great example of that prediction idea. Think about it. The evidence? The person is driving way too fast. So your prediction is, hey, you're going to have an accident. You're basing what you say on what you see happening right in front of you. Okay, so we've got the rules, we've got the reasons. Now let's hear how this sounds in a real conversation. Oh, and here's a little pro tip for you. When you're listening to native speakers, you're almost always going to hear going to get squished down to gonna, like I'm gonna go. It's super common and totally natural in casual speech.
So imagine someone comes up to you and asks this. It's a classic question, right? They want to know about your plans. And check out this perfect answer. We are going to stay in a holiday resort. It's so clear, it tells you the decision has been made, the plan is set, it's a definite thing.
Now, if you want to make your plans even more specific, you can add time expressions like these. Using words like tomorrow, next week, or in 2 weeks just gives that extra detail about exactly when something is going to happen.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, so let's do a super quick recap of the most important things to take away from all this.
Seriously, if you just remember these 3 things, you've got this. First, use it for your future plans and intentions. Second, use it for predictions when you have some evidence. And third, always remember that formula. Subject plus am, is, are plus going to plus the verb. That's it.
And just like that, we're at the end. But before you click away, I've got one last question for you. I want you to actually think about it, maybe even say your answer out loud. You can use the full form, or you can try out the more casual gonna. So, what are you going to do today? Give it a try. Thanks so much for watching.